passed through a small resort community in Wisconsin. The town is called Geneva Lake, and the body of water it abuts is called Lake Geneva. The name comes from a man who was reminded of a similar location on one of the Finger Lakes in New York. Anything would be an improvement on its original moniker, which was Mucksuck, taken from the Indians. It's come a long way from Mucksuck. Geneva Lake developed its culture and reputation starting in the 19th century, when wealthy people from both sides of the law came up from Chicago, with a few descending down from Milwaukee, to build summer places where they could escape from the cares of the day and the sheer congestion, noise, and smoke of the city. Some had mansions built on the shore, others put up what you might call extremely luxurious cottages. A small fortune, at least, was required to be a player in this game that became Geneva Lake, Wisconsin. Appearance is still important in this town. Upscale shops and funky watering holes line the streets at its core, and outside the town, in the country, I saw a street sweeper hard at work, brushing up the rural passages. There is a walking trail along one of the lake shores, very popular with joggers. It is an odd little vestige. The trail cuts through the lakefront properties and allows curious citizens or a random visitor a close-up view of many of these sumptuous vacation palaces. The town of Lake Geneva is about 85% white and 15% Mexican or Latino, whichever you prefer. There may be a few blacks and Asians and others sprinkled around, but you'd be hard-pressed to find them. While I was walking on that trail along the shore, I saw a number of men working on the grounds, mowing lawns, raking leaves, picking up trash. They were all Mexican. I expect that the men tasked with the formidable operation of getting the docks and boat hoists in the water would also be Mexican. And the people working inside, house staff, they would be Mexican too. In the town I saw groups of young Mexican males, mid to late teens, dressed casually but neatly, crossing the streets and walking along the sidewalks, laughing exuberantly and playing. And as I saw them, it occurred to me that someone will write a play or a story, straight out of Chekhov, about the town of Geneva Lake. It will concern a fourth or fifth generation of a family that has been coming to this place for the season, for years, forever. It is all they know. They come and go as mindlessly as migrating animals. And while they are there, they do nothing but relax and enjoy themselves, allow themselves to be pampered by a fleet of capable and nearly invisible workers who are invariably Mexican. One day, whoever would have thought it, no one precisely, but there it is, someone discovers that they have run out of money. None of them work, they've never had to work. They've been living off investments. Someone has been managing their money, and there was a lot of it, even as it forked through the generations. But now it is gone, trickled out. And so they must face this hard, bothersome, somewhat embarrassing truth. They're going to have to part with, sell, their property in Geneva Lake. They can no longer afford it. They're going to have to leave. It doesn't seem possible, but it's true. There's no one to blame. It's just happened, that's all. A far greater shock arrives when they meet the person who has purchased their property. It's the son of one of the men who worked on the grounds for many years, a boy who himself helped his father years ago, but who has now amassed a considerable fortune of his own, and he has bought the wonderful place where his parents once both worked. The former landowners are stunned. They can't believe this. They still think of the boy, now a grown man, as an immigrant, a veritable peasant, a lad they'd slip $1 to if he'd run and fetch them an icy lemonade. The man is not cruel. He tries to be kind to the recently dispossessed. He says they can stay in the guest cottage if they like, for free during this season, while it's being remodeled, so his parents can live there. But that won't do. There isn't nearly enough room, they say. What about the main house? There are 20 bedrooms. Can't they stay there? I'm sorry, no, he tells them. I'm going to convert the house into a bed and breakfast. In fact, I'm going to need help. I can offer you work if you want. It would be easy for you, because you are already so familiar with the property.